Hello and welcome to another video designed to help beginners or those at the beginners plus stage perhaps. Today's topic is going to be sliding double stops. So what is a sliding double stop? Where do you play them on the fretboard? When do you play them, etc. Let's first of all define though what a double stop is before we slide it. A double stop is where you play two notes together on two different strings. So that's a double stop, and wherever you do that, those are all double stops. In this instance, if we play the A major chord at the 5th fret, those constitute the root note, A, and the 5th in the scale of A major. I won't prove that to you, but just accept that that makes a pleasing sound if you play a double stop using the 5th in the scale and the root. You can actually play the root and the 3rd, the root and the 4th, the root and the 5th, which we're doing, root and the 6th. So you can already see there's starting to build umpteen permutations of what can constitute a double stop. And you do that by playing a double stop, not just like I'm doing here for this example on the 1st and 2nd string, but if you play two notes simultaneously on the 1st and 3rd string, like that, these are double stops. Or playing on the 1st and the 4th string, which here produces octaves of the A major scale. And so on. So if you've got 6 strings, you've got over 20 frets. The permutations are quite immense when you stop to think about it. So just for learning purposes, we're just going to confine ourselves to this root and 5th. If we slide that either up and back down, as that chord is played, that's the sliding double stop. So it's a very useful technique. I use it a lot. It's one of my favorites. You can use it whether you're playing lead parts, because it can constitute part of your lead solo or your lead fill, and we'll talk about that in a second, or to spice up a rhythm part. So that was an example of using the sliding double stop on the A chord, just to fill, like a drummer would, doing a fill where they go around the kit, hitting the toms, hopefully come back in time with everybody else. But it fills a point in the music when there's a feeling when you're playing, and it becomes instinctive, that something needs to go in there just to provide a little bit of difference to just the normal backing. And it's the same thing with guitar playing. If you're playing the rhythm guitar and you've got a circle of 4 chords that you're just taking round and round, it can just help things along a bit and give the listener some ear candy, if I can put it that way, just to add some interest at that particular point. You wouldn't normally do it over the top of a vocal, for example, although rules are always made to be broken in pop, but it's usually perhaps at the end of a vocal line. It can be a handy way to fill one bar. Anyway, enough of me rattling on. Let's just hear an excellent example of the use of a sliding double stop. I'm sure you'll recognise the tune, but I shall play the double stops along, and you'll be able to see exactly what I'm doing. But hang on, let's see it first. think that little snippet gives you an idea of the sort of thing you could do with a very simple sliding double stop in this case. You might have noticed, by the way, for the first two sliding double stops, I played them like this. And the second two I actually played slightly differently, with a bit of plucking as well as sliding. But all's fair in pop, rules are there to be slightly broken now and then. Okay, that's all very well, but I hear you say, what about minor chords? Right, let's just go through that. So we've looked at the major chord, and we took, just for the sake of argument, the barred A major chord at fret 5. Let's, again, just for the sake of it, take, say, B minor or B minor 7th chord at the 7th fret using the E minor shape. The relative places where you can do a sliding double stop that sounds nice with the B minor chord is the two strings 1 and 2 on fret 10, slide them up to fret 12. And what you're doing there is sliding A on that string, D on that string, up to B and E. And all those notes are in the B minor scale. Now you find them, instead of 10th and 12th fret, because that would only be relative obviously to the B minor, is 1, 2, 3 frets up from where you're making the main chord. 1, 2, 3 and 5. 3, 4, 5. So if you moved the shape, or you were playing a G minor chord down here, you simply have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your sliding double stop. So that's where you locate the relative sliding double stop for a minor chord. If you're playing along to a minor chord, we saw that the double stops were there, like 1, 2, 3 and 5 steps, 5 frets up. But there's also another cool place when you're playing a minor chord to be able to do a sliding double stop, and that's down here. Now those sound very similar because they're actually the same notes. So if you're playing B minor and we're on the 10th fret, ready to do our sliding double stop, we're actually playing A D up to B E. Well, those notes occur also down here where you're playing the chord. So they're an octave apart. So they are the same, but that lower one really sounds cool. So you can mix and match. Let's have a demonstration. Finally, my favourite is doing sliding double stops on major 7th chords. So let's take, say, E major 7th, and I'm playing it here on the 7th fret. And the sliding double stop there is as simple as it was on the A major, or the major chord that we did earlier. So it's there. Again, it's harmonious with the scale involved in playing E major 7th. Very fruity and very popular in jazz, pop and a whole range of styles. It's a very gentle chord, often used at the end of a song where the guitarists wouldn't be able to resist, i.e. I'm talking about me. If that's the final chord, it's nice to do a little flourish at the end like that. If you'd like to see how a virtuoso jazz guitarist incorporates double stops, triple stops, diads, triads that is, and sliding versions of all of those, then just take a look at this clip that I found on YouTube.
Jazz. Nice.
Okay, that's all I want to cover for today. I think that's enough to be going on with and should give you enough to practice and put sliding double stops into your guitar lick vocabulary. 3 types: sliding double stops for major chords, minor chords and major 7th chords, my favourite. So if you enjoyed the video, please press the like button, and if you really like it and would like to see some more, then don't be afraid to click on the subscribe button. You can always unsubscribe later on. If you want, you can buy me a cup of tea / coffee, but tea is my preference, and there's a link down there where you could do that. As ever, if you've got any questions on what we've covered today, don't be afraid. I'm bound to have missed things out, left, right and centre. But I suppose that's better than giving you so much information. It's impossible to digest all in one 15-minute video. So yeah, don't be embarrassed. Just send me a question or a request or any comments you like, except rude ones maybe, in the comments section below. So if there's nothing more to add, is there? No, I don't think so. I'll see you next time.